Morning, everyone. As I said, we are going to be using the wall today, so if you can have your mat close to it, have a tissue handy for a breathing exercise. Gentle practice today, we're going to be doing a little gentle inversion work that may give you, as my teacher used to say, a new perspective on things. So let's come to our mats. Or you can do this on a chair if you prefer a seated position, whatever is comfortable. Gentle Sukhasana. And get comfy, close your eyes, relax your shoulders and your jaw. Slow down the thoughts, creating that blank chalkboard in your mind. Letting go of the cares and the concerns and the worries. And let's come to our breath. Just focusing on the breathing, coming in and out through the tip of the nose. Slowing down the breath. Relax that jaw. And if you'd like to set an intention for your class today, do so now. You can open your eyes. Today we're going to be doing a breathing exercise called Agnisari. It's fire breathing. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see it. It involves pumping the diaphragm. It's sort of an energizing breathing, and it involves quick inhalations and exhaling with a pumping of the diaphragm. So it's like, and you can put your hand on your diaphragm so you can feel the pumping action. It does clean out your sinuses, which is why I said to have a tissue. But we'll do 20 of those, and then we'll rest, take a few resting breaths, and we'll do about 3 cycles of the 20 pumps. And I'll sit sideways so you can see. So again, coming back to the breathing, and now you can close your eyes again if you'd like. And let's take a preparatory breath in through the nose. And then exhaling out again through the nose. And then let's begin those 20 pumps. And when you finish, you can just return to normal breathing. Just noticing the sensations, grabbing your tissue if you need to. The speed at which you do the pumping is up to you. If you want a more vigorous pumping, you can certainly do that. If you want to just have it be slower and stronger, you can do that as well. Whatever feels right to your body at the time. And let's start our second round. Take a preparatory breath in through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. And at your own pace, 20 pumps. Returning to normal breathing. And when you're ready, let's take another preparatory breath in for our third and final round. beginning when you are ready. Finish and return to normal breathing. Noticing the sensations of this energizing fire breath. Maybe feeling a little lightheaded. That's okay. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, grab your bricks and have one on each side of your knees. And let's make our way back down to the mat onto our backs. Lifting your hips up and running your hands along the skin of the hips so that the small of the back comes closer to the floor. It doesn't have to be on the floor, but closer to the floor. And we're not arching the rib cage up into the sky. Relaxing your legs out so that with the knees bent so that they come to the sides and coming as far out as they can. And then place a brick under each leg to support it wherever is comfortable so that your knees aren't just hanging in midair. We're coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. This is a relaxed pose, but an opening pose. Making any movements with the shoulders to relax the shoulders into the mat. Hands are at your side with the palms facing up if you're feeling receptive, down if you feel like you need more grounding. And come to the breath again. Feeling the breathing deep in the belly. Noticing any tension you may have in the hips and working to release it. I'm feeling some especially tight in my right hip today. Not sure why that is. But just going to wiggle around a little bit and get to a point where I feel like I can really relax into those bricks and release that tension. We hold a lot of stress in our hips. So this is a wonderful pose to sort of allow that release. Using the deep, slow breathing to help to relax even more. Maybe rolling your head from side to side, making sure you're not holding any tension in your jaw or in your neck. Sensing that the arms are heavy upon the earth, feeling the earth take that weight of your body, relaxing into it. A couple of more breaths here at your own pace. And when you're ready, bringing your hands underneath the knees, let's bring the knees up, feet onto the floor. You can move the bricks out of your way for now. Let's stretch the body out, kick your heels out, arms above the head. A nice long stretch of the body, wiggles and jiggles, finding length in the torso and the arms, hamstrings, big yawn if you'd like. Exhale through the mouth. And although I'd like to stay in that position for a while, let's bring the knees back up. Bring the knees into the body, fingers interlocked in front of the shins, and do some gentle circles with the small of the back on the floor. And when you're ready, bring the feet back to the floor, knees bent, your hands at the side, palms down. Now, actually bring the hands to your hip bones, and gently we're going to release the right knee down towards the floor, but keeping the hip bones facing towards the sky. So only going down as far as you can, keeping the hip bones facing up. So we don't want to be rolling over to the side like that. Engaging the core, then bringing that knee back up. Let's do the other side again. Engage your core, release the knee. This is gentle core work. Do the other side. Just noticing how far you can get down without, it's not cheating, but if you bring the hip up to the side, then you're not using your core. You're just twisting, and that's not the purpose of this exercise here. And breathe. Just do a few of these. Getting familiar with how your hips feel, how your pelvis feels. And trying to focus on using the core to pull that knee back up. Let's do one more set. And then when you come back to center, let's bring both arms and legs up to the sky, and let's just do some shaking around, sort of like a bug on its back, getting the energy flowing. Hands and feet down to your side, lift the hips, give them a little hip shimmy, waking up your digestive system and your lower back. And come to your side. Let's roll over onto your side now. I'm coming onto my forearm with my fingers spread wide here. And I am going to extend the lower leg, bring the top leg over and in front. Bracing yourself or supporting yourself with your arms, and my elbows under my shoulder for support. I'm going to lift that lower leg up and down, up and down, very slowly here. Strengthener, up, down, do about 10. I, of course, have forgotten to count. I think that's about 7. They say when you forget, you should do what you think and add 1. All right, great. Let's bring the knees together now and do an open clamshell. So opening that top leg up to the sky and down, top knee, I should say, and down. Breathing and opening. Let's do about 10 of these as well. Engage your core as you're doing this. Relax the jaw and your neck. Just noticing this, what muscles this is working. I'm definitely feeling it on the outside of my hip. All right. Now, either staying in this position, extending which you can, extending your upper leg and extending the arm, bring the elbow to the knee, and then reach, touch, reach. Let's do about 10 of these. Now you can do them here if you'd like to challenge yourself a little more, and only if you do, because this is good core work as well. You can come up on the knee and reach and touch Or you can split it in half, do 5 of them, 5 of each. Reach, touch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, touch. And down. Let's do the other side. You can roll over. I'm going to just change positions here. So again, we're bringing the top leg over the bottom leg. You're stacking your shoulder over your elbow, spreading your fingers nice and wide for support. We're going to lift that lower leg, flexing the foot, and down. Up and down. With the breath. Nice and slow, really feeling, especially on the lowering part. I think that's 10. Let's bring the knees together. And again, opening that clamshell. Inhale up and down. Up and down. These can also be done. We've done these before in some of the previous classes. You can lift the hip on this if you'd like. If you feel like challenging yourself, you can do the up and down. Up to you. Some people, this is plenty. Okay. And again, extending the foot, extending the arm. We're going to reach and touch, reach, touch for about 10, 3, 4. Inhale. If you want to come up on the knee, you can. A little bit more of a challenge, stronger hip work. And I've lost count. How many am I? Is that 10? Okay, great. Let's come onto all fours, shake it out. Few bird dogs, but a little variation. So we have our hands under our shoulders, fingers spread wide. Our knees are under our hips. We're going to extend the right arm and the left leg. Now keep it up there, and we're going to pulse for 20. Up, up. Just pulsing the leg up. Gentle movements. Breathe. And if you can't do 20, do as many as you can. And release. Other side. Stretch out and pulse for 20. Careful that you're not twisting that hip over. Remember, we want to do this as though we have a glass of water on our back, keeping the back straight, flat rather. And then come to center, shake it out. Let's spread our knees and come into our child position. Shake your head back and forth. Arms can be in front of you if you'd like, or around the sides of your legs. And breathe. Really feeling a release in the lower back, between the shoulder blades, space between your teeth. And when you're ready, slide our hands forward, spread our fingers wide, tuck our toes, press up to downward facing dog. Feet are about hip width apart. Hips are pushed way up to the sky. And take your little movements here, pumping the legs. Press through the hands, strong arms. Coming up onto your toes if you'd like. Pressing the heels back down towards the floor. Shake your head yes and no. One more breath here. Now, bending your knees so that they're just right above the floor. And your knees are almost in line with your ankles, depending on how big your feet are. I guess that might change. We're going to staying in this position. This is a strength move. Now pressing hard through the arms and keeping a nice foundation, transferring the weight onto the left foot and your two hands. Let's extend that back leg and breathe. And back. Extend the other leg. Keep the knees down. Strong arms. And breathe. And down. When we're set, extend the right leg. Kick the heel out. Strong arms. And down. Last leg, left leg. Keep that knee bent. And return your foot to the position. Come down and let's come into our child pose one more time. Shake it out, relax. Shake out your neck, shoulders. One more breath. And then you can press yourself up. We're going to come to the wall now. So using your mat, or if you'd like, just using a blanket. I'm going to use this as my wall here. I don't have a lot right here by my windows, but I've folded my blanket because I'm going to be laying on it, and I have it against the wall. So grabbing whatever you can there, I'll give you a minute to, in case you don't have anything close to you. A towel works as well, just something thick, and or you can even just double your sticky mat if you'd like. And I'm going to come to the side of the wall so that I'm sitting against the wall and my hip is touching the wall, my knees are bent, and slowly I'm going to start to come back. Bring my feet up against the wall. My hips are still touching the wall, and if they're not, then scoot yourself in. That in and of itself can be an interesting practice to do. And let's just bring our feet up to the wall. Our gentle inversion work here. Hands at your side with the palms facing up. And again, this should feel comfortable. You may need to adjust your blanket so that the spine is supported and you feel nice and comfy here. Close your eyes and breathe, and just allow everything to flow backwards for a moment. This, of course, is wonderful if you have any kind of swelling in your ankles or lower extremities. This is a wonderful pose to do. And you can start to wiggle your toes a little bit, stretch them out nice and wide, push the other toes, separate the big toes from the other toes, pushing the big toe. That's very hard to do. Taking the feet off of the wall a little bit, and let's just do some ankle circles. Going one way for a while, and then going the other way for a while. And then this, which is interesting, I was trying to do this the other day, extending your toes. So spread your toes out as far as you can, and then try to do ankle circles. It's very hard. At least it is for me. Extending I don't know if it's my mind or there's muscles that just don't get used. Anyway, an interesting one to try. Give it a little shake. Now, let's take the legs out as wide as you can and rest them against the wall. I'm going to have to just, I'm pretending I have a wall here. It's really a window, but you're going to go as wide as you can. Just get a nice stretch here in the groin. Relax into it. Taking your hands under your legs, bringing the legs back up. Let's just do some scissors. So we're just crossing the legs here. Engage your core. Make sure you're squeezing at the Uddiyana Bandha. Just back and forth, scissor legs. And then coming to center, we're going to bend one leg, extend the other, and back to center. Engage your core here. Use your hands for stability. Right leg down, bend the left, side to side. Sort of like aerial lunges, I guess I'm doing here. Making sure that your back, your small of your back is supported on the mat. And when you're finished with that, come back to center. Legs up on the wall again. Take your left leg and cross it over your right leg above the knee. Slowly begin to bend the extended leg until you find a good stretch here. We've done these kind of leg stretches before in other classes, but the wall just gives you a little bit more support to go a little deeper, but you control this as much as is comfortable for you. So don't go any deeper than what feels like a good, nice, invigorating stretch. And breathe here. This is wonderful for getting into the lower hip, the sciatic, any kind of sciatica, top of the thigh, and the top of the back of the thigh. And when you're ready, you can extend the leg, unbend the leg, give them a little wiggle. Let's do the other side. Now again, crossing the right leg over the left knee, above the knee, and begin to bring that left leg down onto the wall until you find that stretch that feels good to your body. And then just breathe into it, close your eyes. And when you're ready, you can extend the leg, uncross the other one, give them a little wiggle. And then keeping your knee to come out of this, keep your knees bent and slowly roll over onto your side. And when your knees are down, press yourself back up. And let's come up to standing. Bit of balance work here. Coming into our tree, making sure that you have something to hold onto, either, got some sort of a weird message here that I'm going to get rid of on my screen so I can see you. So again, having something to hold on to or being close to a wall, finding your drishti, your point of focus, low on the floor, engaging your core, pulling up at the mula, in at the uddiyana, transferring the weight onto your left leg. I'm mirroring you here. Bringing the other leg up to either just here. If you're not good with your balance and you want to just work on this, you can try just resting the ankle against the other ankle and coming up onto your toe. If you'd like and you feel comfortable, you can bring it up farther above the knee. Now on side bending tree, we come with our Yan Mudra hand with the thumb touching the second finger, palm up on the leg. The other arm rises above, and we push that hip out to the side for a side bending tree. And release. It's very hard to talk and do that at the same time, but we'll do the other side. So now transferring the weight, coming into, again, whatever one-legged balance, using just the tip of your toe. If that's where you are, then that's great. And work on that. Finding your drishti, engage the core. And release. Now shake it out. Let's take a nice wide stance with our legs. Coming into our goddess pose. So the feet are pointed out at an angle. And we're going to bring our arms up, coming into Namaste prayer, and come down into our squat. Now the knees, make sure the knees are over the feet and you can see your big toes. They're not collapsing in. We want to keep the knees out. Hands come to the heart. Nice and tall. Coming, straightening legs up. We're going to just do some pulses. If your knees are sensitive, then be careful here. Don't go down very deep. And then up, certainly not farther down than sitting on a chair, a 90-degree angle. And just do some pulses here, pressing through the feet, especially through the heels, engaging the core here. Gaze is forward. Do a couple more with the breath. And up, shake it out. Bring the arms up again. This time we're going to bring them to our ears, coming down into our squat. And we're going to turn, touching the elbow towards the knee. You don't have to touch, but we're just doing that twist. In our squat, make sure your knees are not collapsing in. Press those knees out, side to side, up. Keeping the spine nice and tall. Side to side, maybe another set. Down and up. Shake it out. Now bring the arms into cactus arms, coming down. We're going to turn to the side, center, elbow to knee, center, turn to the other side, center, elbow to knee, center, and up. Shake it out. We're going to do it again. Cactus arms, down into squat, twist, center, elbow to knee, center, twist, center, elbow to knee. Keep those knees out. And let's shake it out. We'll do one last set. Whew. Elbows, ears, cactus arms, goddess, twist, center, bend, center, twist, center, strong core, bend, center, and up. Shake it out. It's coming into some side squats with your hands in Namaste prayer. And maybe you want to take a little wider stance here, side to side. Lunge, excuse me, not squat. Making sure that knee is staying over the foot and not collapsing inward. And breathe. Pressing through the heels, engaging your core, and come back to center. Let's shake it out. Coming into our curtsies. So hands come to your heart. Step back with the other leg behind the other one and come down into a squat, curtsy, come back to center, step behind the other one. Whoops. Curtsy, sorry. A little trouble here with my space. So stepping behind and curtsy. The knee does not touch the ground, but it comes down low and curtsy. Again, engage the core. One last set. It's a balance thing as well, isn't it? And shake it out. Jump around a little bit. And let's lay down on your bellies, please. And if you have trouble with being on your belly, use a mat, a blanket, if you'd prefer. Sphinx pose. Legs are extended and about hip width behind us. Feet are flat. Toes are flat on the floor. Hands are, elbows are underneath the shoulders. Fingers are spread. Gaze is forward. Sphinx. This is gentle back bend. And I'm doing some little wiggles of my hip here just to ease into it. And when you are ready, if it is available to you, bringing one leg up to the side in like a one-legged frog. Now my knee is coming up to the side as far up as I feel comfortable with, about hip-ish level. My foot is on the floor. We want to keep the pelvis on the floor as much as possible. And you may not be able to come up very far. That's okay. Just come up to whatever is comfortable. Staying in our one-legged frog position. And breathe. If it's too strong to be on your elbows, you can come down making a diamond shape with your hands and have your head on the floor as well. Either one works. And just noticing the pelvic bones, how they are on the mat. Certainly my right one is trying to lift up a little bit here, so I'm trying to engage that more with the mat to get that opening. And when you're ready, so the foot that is bent, we're going to just lift that foot up gently off the floor and down. So I'm staying with the knee out to the side. I'm just lifting the foot up and down. Working into that hip. Do about 10 of those. Relax your jaw and your shoulders. And finally, if you'd like to do a little twist here, if it is available to you. So I have my right knee out. I'm going to take my left arm, thread it under my right arm, come down on my left shoulder and my left cheek, if that is available. If it's not, just stay in your Sphinx with the one-legged frog. And breathe. Relax here, relax the shoulders, the face. And when you're ready, press yourself out of it. Bring your extended leg back to center. Let's just do some little wiggles. We'll do the other side. So again, from our Sphinx pose with your elbows under your shoulders, hands extended and fingers out, we're going to now bring the other leg out to the side slowly, finding that point about as high up as you can bring it without straining yourself. And again, the foot is, my knee is sort of at an, and my feet are sort of making a 90-degree angle. And just staying with that, noticing the pelvic bone now on the other side of the body. When you're ready, let's just do some lifts of now that left foot up and down, up, with the breath, maybe 10, if you can do 10. And again, if it is available to you, you can either stay here or with my left knee bent, I'm going to take the right arm, thread it under the left, and come down onto my right shoulder and right cheek for a gentle twist here. And breathe. And when you're ready, coming out of that, let's press back into child for a counter pose here for just a few breaths. Shake it out. And on your next breath, let's come back onto our bellies. This time, let's bring our hands in front of us. And we're going to inhale, lift up the opposite right arm, left leg, and down. Inhale, arm, leg, and down. Superman's. Inhale, arm, leg, and down. Inhale. Inhale. Again, I'm not lifting very far. I'm just lifting and really working the back muscles here. Strong backs. I want to do about 10 of these. If that feels right to you, maybe if you're just starting on this and you have trouble with your back, maybe just do a couple and see how you feel later today. And down. Shake it out. Take a resting breath. Now taking both feet off the floor, both hands and your head. And again, truly flying through the sky like Superman. Breathe for 2 breaths. And down. Let's do 3 of those. Inhale up. Feet, hands, and head. Squeezing the whole back of the body and down. One last time. Inhale, lift the feet, head, hands, reach and lift, and down. Couple resting breaths. Now walk the hands out wide. Walk your feet out wide so that you're sort of in a butterfly shape. If it is available to you, we're going to lift the feet, the head, and the hands here. 2 breaths and down. See how that feels. Inhale, lift the feet, head, hands. 2 breaths and down. We'll try one more. Inhale, lift the feet, head, hands. 2 breaths. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze along the back and down. Let's press into child and take a little rest here. Shake it out. Relax your neck. Wiggle it around. And then let's press up into a seated position, coming into our egg pose. So I'm sitting on my hips, I've got my feet in front of me. I'm going to interlock my arms. So I'm holding my elbows or whatever you can. Bring those feet in as tight to the body as possible, making a nice tall back, not hunching the spine, but pulling the torso as close to your knees as you can, pulling the knees as close to the torso as you can, and coming into this pose. Now, while you're here, pushing back a little bit onto the hips, keeping that length in the spine, don't hunch, and come up onto your toes. If you can, lift the toes off the floor. Engage your core. Balance. If you can't, that's fine. Just keep your toes down. Engage that core. And down. You can bring your arms out, shake it out, and bring your hands behind you. Lifting the feet up off the floor. I have my knees spread, my toes and feet touching. I'm using my hands for support. Long, tall back. I'm not letting the back collapse. I'm engaging my core and pulling that back up. I'm going to extend the legs and then bring them back. Knees spread. Push and back. And yes, those are my legs shaking because this is hard. Engage the core and do a few of these. See how it feels. Strong core work. And down. Come back, come down onto your backs now. And bring your feet over your body, your knees over your body. Interlock your fingers around your knees, and let's just give yourself a little hug. Massage the small of the back. Bringing your hands down to the floor, let's lift those feet up again. Cross your right foot over your left foot. Bringing the hands now behind your head, but just to touch. We're not pulling on the head. The hands are just back there to, I don't know what they're back there for. They're just back there, but they're not pulling your head up. Engaging your core, and we're going to lift and down. Just some extended leg crunches here. Don't pull with your hands. Use your belly. If you can only do one, do one. If you can do 5, do 5. Now let's switch legs, put the other leg on top, same thing. Engage that core. And release. You can bring your feet down to the floor. Let's shake out our hips a little bit, lifting them off the mat, just giving them a little shimmy. Now with your, bringing your knees up over your body again, hands again at the side of your head. We're going to just do some bicycle crunches here. So we're going to lift the head. We're going to turn the right elbow to the left knee, back to center, and push the leg out. Just some bicycle crunches. I'm on the small of my back. So the hips are slightly off the floor. And again, maybe do 5 of each. Come down, do another 5 maybe, if that's available to you. And bring your feet down, hands at your side. Give yourself a little shimmy on your hips. Taking your knees wide, and let's just do some gentle windshield wipers here. Letting the knees fall to one side and taking a few breaths here. Again, my feet are nice and wide. Just gentle twists here. Switch to the other side. Again, nice and wide. Coming back to center. Extend the feet. Extend your hands above your head. Another stretch as we did at the beginning of class. Stretch it out. And coming into our Shavasana, take 3 nice deep yawns and yawn it out. Inhale through the mouth. Again, inhale. These are really more sighs than yawns. Hopefully you know what I mean. One more time, inhale. Release everything. Check your feet, check your hips. Release your body into the floor. Heavy and relaxed. Bring your awareness back to the breath, gently starting to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Gently rolling your head from side to side. Bending your knees, And when you're ready, coming over onto your side for a moment, keeping the eyes closed. Pressing up into a seated position. Eyes still closed, hands at your heart, coming back to the intention if you set one at the beginning of class. Seeing that intention filled with the light and the energy and the love of your practice today. Sending it out into the world and seeing the world enveloped in that same light and love and positive energy. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Have a lovely week. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. As always, if you have any questions or comments, suggestions, send me a note. Happy to hear from you. Take care.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Robin.